the screen. Hello?
Thank you. Yeah, I just switched on my mic. So you can see my screen now, yeah?
Yes.
Let me try to share the full screen with you. Can you see the full screen mode? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a full screen now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, firstly, thank you. Let me join this event to share my working and my experience about my research. The topic for today is recently a short project for the air pollution indoor development. So the topic is here exploring the influence of the source, behavior, and mitigation strategy on the aerosol generated during the household activity. A little bit about my background. I'm currently a senior lecturer working in Nottingham Trent University, which is a sister university with the University of Nottingham. We just about 4 miles away. I originally graduated from Nottingham University, so always have very close contact there. My background is building services. So initially I got my undergraduate degree from Beijing University of Technology, focused on the heating, ventilation, this kind of subject area. Then I moved to UK to pursue my postgraduate degree, then stay here for teaching and research. A little bit about my university. As I mentioned before, it's not far with Nottingham, the University of Nottingham, but we based in the city center with 4 campuses. The big campus is in city center with the oldest building in the city, which is Aqua Building. And initially, before Nottingham University moved to the new campus, this building actually is University of Nottingham, built around 1848. And then we have our school for farm and a science technology school a little bit far away to the city, and also we have recently creative design campus just brought from another college. Yeah, so that's give you some numbers. We are one of the largest university in the UK, similar student number as the University of Nottingham. And that's our city campus, and that's the Aqua Building I just mentioned. My office actually there. So hopefully after the COVID-19 lockdown measure easy, everyone can visit my campus, and I will host the event for you. And then move on to my research. Based on my background for building services, I always interested in about bring the building more sustainable, zero carbon. So also match with the union sustainable development goals. So that's a good framework everybody can follow into developing their research. Especially for our building environment, there are a lot of target is linked with the building environment and even beyond the city scale, such as the clean energy and infrastructure and the building design, sustainable city and community. And for today's topic relative to the air pollution, so I especially highlight which target from the Sustainable Development Goal, particular link with air pollution and the built environment. You can have a look in detail, but especially for building the health issue, the clean clean energy, and the building design, sustainable design, especially link with our work. And about my research, I list several of my research projects here. So as you already noticed, I'm a building services engineer by training. So initially my research started from 2011, focused on the building itself, how to evaluate the building performance. A lot of colleagues already mentioned the similar project. So it's building scale, and also link with the energy consumption, how we can evaluate the carbon emission, how we can quantify the carbon emission. So these two pink one is my initial research, more focused on the building scale. Then our university actually set up a word scheme called EcoCamps. A lot of UK university, around 60 university, still on our platform to evaluate the campus level, campus scale level sustainable development. And this project I also bring back to China, and Zhejiang University recently been awarded the top level of the Eco Campus. So that's why I highlight as a blue color. It's more from building scale to the slightly large scale campus scale, like a small community. Then after that, we did create a collaboration with China, set up our university first digital construction lab. So you will see it's a dark pink color. We have a lot of digital technology related project linked with the building environment, such as use VR technology, use BIM platform link with different technology to manage the building development. And also it's because Nottingham Trent University is slightly different with Nottingham University, Liverpool University. We are a teaching university, so we try to fit this kind of research back to the teaching as well. And also recently I have another project, even think about a large scale due to UK just published a new guidelines about the history, the district heating regulation. So we try to map in the sustainable technology to support the district heat development, make the zero carbon city. And link with today's topic, we talk about the healthy building. So recently, due to COVID-19, you see the project start from 2020, 2021. So due to the COVID-19, we think about a more healthy well-being in the building rather than just the energy consumption. So recently I have some project think about the thermal comfortable issue in the building, and also the air quality, which is the project I want to introduce a little bit more later. And then we also have last year a Newton Fund project similar as this one, talk about in the community area, the large scale community project, how we can regenerate the whole community based on the sustainable technology. So that's all my project. Got some fundings, which we can discuss later on. And today's project I will introduce about air quality is from STFC, Science Technology Facility Council. Okay, so move on to today's project linked with the health issue in the building. So firstly, the project starts from a network event, which funded by the UK Research Council, STFC, and managed by the several universities together. And we split this network fund as a different small project for focus on different area of the research, which is quite similar like Zhong proposed earlier on during this event to do some practice work based on the small project. So background about this research, why we interested in the air pollution. As a obviously know air pollution affect people's health indoor and outdoor. Some figures showing here. The air pollution linked with 40,000 earlier deaths per year in UK, and also 90% of the children affected by the breathing toxic airs, and that's a big issue in UK. And in China, this picture actually from this year, around the May time in Beijing, still very heavy air pollution. Obviously, China improved a lot during last 10-20 years about air pollution control, but still have a lot of things we can do. And in particular for children and vulnerable group, this air pollution issue actually affect people's whole lifetime. Start from a very earlier time, they will cause the low birth weight and organ damage when the woman pregnant. And also after that stage, for the baby, they will harm from high pollution, have more lung infection, and increase the infant mortality. Which is a very big issue. And during the young children earlier stage, they will harm from the high pollution as well. More coughs and within more emergent visit to the hospital, which give a hospital a lot of pressure, especially under the pandemic stage. And one very famous case in UK, this lady, Ella, she is a first lady on her death certificate being noticed death by the air pollution, and after she died, her mom fighting a lot to let people notice her death actually directly linked with the air pollution inside and outside her house, and this kind of issue never been raised before she died. So that's another case on the newspaper, and firstly being write down formally and her death certificate. So due to these kind of things, we have a lot of concern about air pollution, particularly indoor, as we already know. Before the pandemic, most people will spend 80% time indoor, but now even raised to 90%. So how we can recognize the pollution source indoor, and how we can change the behavior when we live indoor, and based on some technique mitigation to remove the pollution. That's basically this small project for. And it's very similar. Like our network today, we try to create a multi-interdisciplinary group through the air pollution air clean network. So you see that's all of the partners for this project from a different university, and all have a different background. As I introduced before myself, is pure building services. Wiki is environmental science. ACIT is a chemical side for the air pollution research, and we have two colleagues from Cranfield University and Essex University. They are biology scientists, and then we have an architect from University of the Southampton and Lancaster. Also, Steve is a specialist on the human behavior part of the building environment design, and we even include Douglas from SME, a small medium size company who specialists on the indoor pollution sensor. So their company produces a very comprehensive indoor pollution sensor joining our project as well.
So Zhong, you have only less than 3 minutes left.
Okay, yeah, a quick introduce the project. I won't touch on the detail of the project, but if you want to know more detailed information, contact me later. So the aim and objective is for this project, we have a 6 aims listed here. So firstly, identify the source of the pollution. So quantify the spatial and temporal distribution, focus on the chemical and biological pollution. And then we need to identify the low-cost environmental strategy to assess and manage the indoor environment. We also use the CFD to validate our to compare with our physical test and physical test validated CFD simulation as well. And based on this aim, we create a 3 working package. Focus on the behavior, focus on the low-cost ventilation strategy, and also focus on the monitoring and the CFD. The first part, we already done the occupancy behavior analysis and set up a framework, new framework to do the test. So this one is from UK time user survey. We focus on 3 different activities for the whole day based on the cooking, cleaning, this kind of normal activity. Because there is no any framework existing before to support this kind of research, we, based on the UK time survey, create a new framework which is repeatable for any other further research. So I just simple list this timetable here. I could share with you later on. But just be careful. Every activity you do in between, you should leave a break time and with a full cleaning for the whole facility, so you can test the next event. That's a lesson we learn. And in terms of the ventilation, we based on a facility in Chester University. It's a container room, and then we do the air tightness test, which supported by Nottingham University colleague to do the air tightness test with their more innovation technology called PULSE. And also we do the traditional airborne air tightness test as well, try to tracing the source and the indoor-outdoor ventilation. And also we based on the different scenarios with ventilation with only extract fan open and also without any ventilation at all, to test the different distribution for the air pollution. And I just quickly mention that's monitoring and the CFD and all of the equipments we use for the chemical pollution and bio pollution and ventilation test as well. That's all of the equipment we embed in this research. Yeah, so that's the plan so far. I won't go to the details due to the time, but we can discuss that later. In terms of the future development, we will analyze all of the data which we already successfully collected by the end of July, identify the big air source pollution from the chemical side and the biological side, and then based on that, find the interrelationship between the air source distribution and the ventilation design. And then finally, we'll check with CFD monitoring to build up more scenarios, simulate different situations. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Zhong. I think you give us a very nice presentation regarding how those different disciplinary could working together on this topic, and show us the modules you want to go further. Thank you. I think you can end the screen sharing, and I would like to invite all our speakers to turn on your camera and opening for the questions. And we have our co-chair. Shall we let the audience raise their hand to ask questions, or I can start. I do have questions for some of our speakers. Pei, do you have any suggestion or anybody in charge? Okay, I saw somebody raise his hand. You may turn on the speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hua. That was an amazing presentation, Ms. Zhong. Your aims were quite aligned with my own particular work. So I just wanted to ponder if in your own research, when you spoke about the use of CFD in understanding how effective the ventilation strategy is, have you also considered the effects of, or will you be considering the effects of outdoor contamination through that particular assessment? So a ventilation particularly could also, apart from extracting pollutants from inside the room, it can also accumulate outdoor pollution. So is that part of your research also? And how are your aims evolved around assessing those particular aspects then? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think that question is for me. Yeah, thank you for your question, and that's a very good point. We already noticed the between indoor and outdoor pollution, they should have some interaction. We can easily think about the indoor air pollution. The outdoor air pollution. In fact, the indoor air pollution, but the other way around, it's very difficult to analyze how the indoor air pollution affect the outdoor air pollution. At the moment, for this small project, we haven't linked these two together, but that's really a plan for next step. I really would like to discuss with you further.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have other questions? Okay. I'm not sure if Professor Han, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
I have a question regarding your experiments using those instruments to measure the outdoor air pollution and how the urban vegetation going on. I'm wondering, how would you really, how to say that? Because usually the layout of the buildings are not really like the models you are using. Is there any other revise or adjustment after the measurement and the simulation? For instance, usually the high rise, the layout is totally different from what you have. It's not like the real square. And also you make this smaller. I'm not sure if it can really represent the real situation in a more complicated urban context. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Wang. Can you hear me, Professor Wang? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think your question is what kind of suggestion or conclusion from the measurement and the CFD simulation, right? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hello. We cannot hear you now.
I think he's frozen.
Okay. Okay. Then maybe I can ask another question for Dr. Xu. Yeah, I'm wondering, right now you are trying to figure out the reason for the sanitation problem and pollution issues there. Do you think the institutional design would play the even more important role in this kind of situation, meaning that the socioeconomic determinants of the health would really actually overweight than any other, you know, the built environment issues. And do you have sort of solution for that? Because right now I'm also doing some study similar to yours is in Yunnan province, which has a really high rate of certain disease incidence. And we figure out that the built environment issue can really easy to find out, but how to really change it is really difficult.
Thanks for just the last question. I think there was a bit noise in the background and didn't catch that. Would you mind to repeat the question?
Oh, I just say that I have working on some similar study in Yunnan province, so we can easily find out the reason of this high incidence rate for certain disease in terms of the, you know, built environment reason, but how we could change it with the economic development support, all those issues it's really difficult. I know you raised a certain funding to support for your site, but I'm still wondering if any experience you want to share in terms of that.
Okay, I think it's a really interesting question, and I think I don't have a definite answer for that. And for example, one thing we discovered in this place that in the informal settlement, people sometimes are paying electricity bills higher than in the city because their electricity is being connected illegally. So then they have been charged much more. So sometimes money is not a problem because for some reason they do receive a good income in some families. And also I think the political reason is very important in Bangladesh. And you know, that I think that's something cannot be changed overnight. And also but I think what is important is to create more dialogues and for people from different disciplines to work on that. For example, we were speaking with a research associate from Sheffield University, and then she mentioned to us there's a group of people in Bangladesh are the people cleaning the septic tanks. And they were considered as the lowest of the lowest people in the society, then have been hugely isolated from other people. And I think, you know, we also need to probably disseminate much more in media to make the other part of the city not be afraid of communications, also perhaps with the informal settlement. But I think political reasons is very high, and sometimes it's not something can be solved by purely technology.
Thank you. Thank you. I know it's a question may not easy to answer, and yeah, we can discuss more later regarding that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We do have a question. Somebody typing. Yeah, sure. Yes, I think our session has a lot of interesting work about ventilation and air quality. So his question is about how we could apply those in the rural area. I'm not sure anybody any speakers wanna answer this. I think some of the speakers are talking about just the indoor ventilation, so it might not be difficult to apply that in the rural area. But for Professor Han, who is doing something, you know, like in urban context, so I'm not sure. Yeah, Professor Han, are you there? Otherwise, I'm not sure if we should continue on this panel discussion. Peg, do you think we should end? And because we are running out.
Yes. Yeah, I think we should end this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just make a quick comment, if that's okay?
All right. Yeah, please, quick. Please.
Yeah. Just a quick comment. I think we need to create possibly more dialogues between social science and environmental science, because I've seen many great presentations, but then one question in my mind is how that is going to benefit people exactly. And I think we need to keep the conversation going. And that's it. I'll shut up now. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think our 7 speakers gave us really nice presentation, and yeah, the dialogue should continue, and we should have more discussions among different scholars